artificial intelligence used in making unimaginable videos, photos, or making fake videos or photos, or doing works that takes hours in seconds, or helping students doing their assignments in fingertips. Hello everyone, this is Shodip Chakravarti and today we have Mr. Rituraj Bhaval at our Law Time show from his tight schedule. And today we are going to discuss about AI and its challenges in the legal field. First things first, what exactly is AI or artificial intelligence according to you?
So, look, before understanding what is artificial intelligence, we need to analyze or we need to understand what do we mean by intelligence. Now, intelligence, according to me, is when some event occurs in the natural environment or the external environment, and anyone, by perceiving or analyzing that event that is happening in the external environment, reacts to the event. Now, if you see every natural entity or every living organism, they have this ability to react to the event that happens in the external environment. Now, if this element or if this talent or this feature is associated or attached to a non-living entity which is not naturally born but that is artificially programmed, now that entity or that software or that thing would be called artificial intelligence. Now we human being, due to our anthropomorphic tendency, what we do, we attach our humanistic tendencies upon non-living entities. Now this non-living entity which has the humanistic tendency we call artificial intelligence. Then the question arises that why do you do it? Because traditionally the functions that human beings took or human beings performed, now artificial intelligence is developed a program to take up those tasks which were tedious, which were daunting for the human beings.
Okay, sir. Thank you. So can you briefly explain about the current state of artificial intelligence in development in India and in comparison to the global trends?
Yes, look, in order to understand the development or the use of AI, better to say I would use the term deployment of AI because AI is deployed for performing various tasks. Now, in comparison with India, if you see the other countries, but before that, I would like to first discuss, or I would like to first introduce this concept that AI has become very much indispensable element into our lives. For example, suppose when we wake up and we command our smart coffee brewing machine that to make our coffee, when you use our social networking, when you use or when you search anything in the internet, or when you go to bed, now the Netflix recommends certain movie or series to you. Now, every task of our human life, now if not every, most of the tasks of human life is being done or is being performed by somehow or other by artificial intelligence. Now, if I talk about the development or deployment of AI in India, now you can see that there are multiple sectors in which artificial intelligence is being deployed. For example, it could be education, it could be agriculture, it could be law enforcement. Better to say, I would like to point out that recently Andhra Pradesh government has taken up the matter with IBM, in which they have built one AI system in which AI would predict the crop yield of 1 year. For example, as I said, that AI is being used in the domain of public administration. Now, AI is being used by various police officials. For example, Punjab Police, Delhi Police, they are using PIS, they are using MPIS, they are using Compass, and various other softwares in which they have the soft AI mechanism in which they can predict the criminal behavior of the criminals before they actually commit the crime. So, apart from this, we can also say that there are health sector, there are education, a defense mechanism in which AI is being tremendously used. And as we are the part of the legal fraternity, we can see that AI is also used in the law field as well. For example, you might have heard that recently Supreme Court introduced one software that is SUPACE. Now, SUPACE actually helps the judges to find the appropriate case law, appropriate document that is relevant for a particular case law. We have this common law system where we can see the tremendous or the voluminous legal precedents. Now, it is very much daunting task to find the appropriate legal precedent in every case. So, AI, instead of human being, AI undertakes that particular task. So, this is how we can understand that how AI has penetrated into human lives.
Okay, sir. I just said about many things about the legal field and all this. So, sir, is it true that AI possesses like challenge towards the current legal framework?
Okay, I understand your question. Look, when we say the challenge of AI or challenge of artificial intelligence, one challenge that comes in our mind that we see in the movies. For example, we have seen in the movies of Avengers that AI in the form of Ultron is one threat. AI in various movies have been depicted in a way that AI would take over human beings, AI would replace human beings. But in my opinion, those risks are quite superficial in nature. Why I call it superficial? Because AI has not attained that level of intelligence that it can supersede human beings. We call it a super intelligence. But in our opinion, or in the also the technological development, we do not see any such development where AI has surpassed the human intelligence. But what we see, or the problem that is very much lucid, and we mostly overlook the problem. To understand the legal challenge of artificial intelligence, what we need to see, we first need to understand how AI functions. Now, AI functions on based upon the data that is fed to artificial intelligence. Now, how the AI will function, or what the AI will do, that is completely unpredictable and inexplicable. That is to say, when AI functions, even the programmer of AI does not know that how the AI will function or what will be the result of the AI decision. Now, that makes an AI black box. For example, AI takes a decision. Now, we do not know why AI has taken that decision. The reason being that AI is completely unpredictable, and as I said, it is inexplicable. For example, suppose we have deployed AI for doing a particular task, for example, autonomous vehicle. Now, suppose an automated vehicle or autonomous vehicle while driving, it hits a human being. Now, why it hit a human being, that cannot be explained because it is inexplicable. That is one problem. That is the black box problem of AI. Another problem, we say that it is the data sparsity. Now, we say that artificial intelligence runs through data. Now, if the data is not sufficient, if the data is sparse, then also it will affect the functioning of artificial intelligence. For example, suppose you might have witnessed this, that when we upload one photograph in Facebook or any social media, then or social networking website, then you see that when you tag your friends, that software or that platform easily recognizes the human face that is with fairer complexion, but it cannot detect the human faces or tag the human faces automatically who have or has darker complexion. That why that happens? Because the data is sparse. The data is sparse, and data is prejudiced on the notion that it actually recognizes only those human beings who have fairer complexion and not the darker complexion. Another example that I can point out, that recently New Zealand government in the passport office, they have adopted one software, or that software actually examines the passport. Now, that passport can easily examine the passports of the persons who belong from Europe or from America, but they cannot detect the passports who are from Asia. Why? Because the pupils, eye pupil, is very much smaller in comparison with European people. Why it is happening? Because the database of the AI system is sparse, because it is based upon the data of European people, not the data of the Asian people. So that is another problem. The third problem that I would like to focus is the violation of data, or data privacy. When AI is using the data, AI is processing the data, then in that situation, whether AI is taking the permission of the data owner or the data principal, that is another concern. So due to these problems, that is your AI black box, data sparsity, and data privacy, AI is posing multiple challenges in different disciplines of law, be it civil laws, be it criminal liability, be it laws relating to antitrust, be it consumer laws, motor vehicle laws, even tax law, labor law, and whatnot. But the problem is that we generally overlook these minor problems because we see AI would be overtaking human beings. But that problem is not the present problem that we are facing. We are facing that problem which most of the human being overlook, and even we can see this overlooking in also our legislative mechanism.
Okay, sir. So, sir, how prepared do you think is the Indian legal framework to face these challenges of the AI technologies?
Look, if you have to ask the preparedness of Indian legal regime regarding AI, then I have to answer it in this way, that at present we do not have any AI specific laws. We believe in the common law mechanism in which the judges are given the power to make coherent approaches to apply law to different situations. So what the judges can do at present, when we do not have any law, that judges can apply the traditional law which are not meant for AI but meant for human, but we can, by our liberal interpretation, we can apply those laws into the laws regarding the conduct of artificial intelligence. But in my opinion, in long run, that would not be fruitful, because at the end of the day, we need AI specific laws to govern the sophisticated conduct of artificial intelligence.
Okay, sir. So, is there any specific legislation directly addressing the AI in India currently?
No, there is no such direct legislation, but in 2023, in the month of December, if I'm not wrong, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, they proposed that they would be introducing one law, and they named the law Digital India Act. Now, but till now, the contents of the bill has not been released, so we do not know what the law will be or how the law is going to tackle these challenges. But yes, at the end of the day, we can say that we do not have any specific law relating to artificial intelligence.
So, like, how do Indian laws like IT Act 2000 or the Data Protection Act are like correlated to this AI, or can help in the challenges facing in AI?
Okay, so look, if you say Information Technology Act 2000, the year 2000, if you see, it was the year of winter stage of AI. Winter stage of AI means that AI was not predominant. AI became predominant after 2010. Now, at that point of time, when IT Act was promulgated, IT Act was introduced to to bring the digital governance, or to regulate the computers, and also to introduce digital governance or e-governance in the government sector. It was not meant to be, or it was not meant to regulate the artificial intelligence. We have some indirect provisions where we can see that artificial intelligence can be regulated indirectly through the provisions of IT, but I do not find any direct provision that governs the artificial intelligence in the Indian Information Technology Act. However, in the year 2021, there was one bylaw, that is intermediary guideline of 2021. In that guideline, there is one regulation 4 that actually mandates all the social media platforms that they have to use AI based tool, so that they can use or they can detect all the fake contents, any contents relating to child pornography, or any content relating to sexual assault. So they are compelled to use artificial intelligence to detect all those contents that are posted in their platforms.
So, sir, what are the current gaps in the regulatory framework when it comes to governing of the AI or AI based applications?
So if you ask about India, now we cannot say that India is lagging behind in deployment of artificial intelligence. India is very much, it is ranked in one of the more top 10 countries in deployment of AI. Instead, we also have various legal various policies. For example, our think tank Niti Aayog has framed multiple policies. There are committee guidelines framed by MITI. There are committee guidelines framed by Ministry of Commerce and Industry. But these are only policy guidelines. These are not the legislation. These are not the laws. When we do not have the law, we cannot deal with the legal disruption. What we have is, we have a strategy, we have a structure, that how AI is being deployed, how AI will be used. But what will happen that after this use of the AI, if AI is causing any legal challenge or legal problem, how to deal with that legal challenge? We do not have any such law. One thing I would like to add, that recently we have this Digital Personal Data Protection Act of 2023. Now that act was enacted keeping in view the general data protection rules of 2016 of European Union. Let me tell you, European Union is one of those jurisdictions which is considered as the most comprehensive jurisdiction in tackling the legal challenge relating to AI. If you see GDPR, is also AI specific. There is specific provision of general data protection rule relating to artificial intelligence. But if you see the Indian law, DPDP Act, we do not have such direct provision. For example, I would like to mention Article 22 of GDPR. It actually says the right of objection against automation. That is to say, when our data is being used by artificial intelligence for any processing, now the data fiduciary or the AI company needs to ask this permission from the data principal, that whether that data can be used for automation or not. But such important legal provision, such crucial legal provision is missing in our DPDP Act. So that is the problem, that we have the laws, but these laws are not specific to AI.
Okay, sir. So, like, what do you see in the future of AI? Like, should India develop any specific AI regulated act, or should it should India just rely on the sector specific regulations? Like,
Go. Regarding regulation of AI, what we have two different approaches. One approach that is adopted by USA and China, what they did, they actually introduced sectoral laws. As I said, that legal challenge of AI is not uniform. It poses challenge in different laws. So what USA and China is doing, they are introducing different laws for different domains. On the other hand, what European Union is doing, they have introduced one general law, that we say one horizontal law for artificial intelligence. That is known as the Artificial Intelligence Act of 2024. Now, in my opinion, what we need to do is we need to maintain a balance between the technological advancement on one hand, and on the other, we should do that AI should be programmed, AI should be developed in such a manner so that AI respects the human rights, AI respects the human autonomy. So, in order to maintain a balance between technological advancement on one hand and on the other hand, the human autonomy, what we need to do is we need the culmination of both horizontal law and the vertical laws. So, we need both horizontal and sectoral laws so that this legal challenge can be dealt with adequately.
okay, sir. So thank you, sir. That was a lot of questions and taking a lot of time of your tight schedule. So this was all about today's video, and we would like to say that sir has briefly described with each and every detail possible about the AI. If you like this video, you can just like our video and you can just share our page. Have put a comment down for any suggestions like this. And for more updates, subscribe our channel. Thank you.